All right, so here we are in week 2. We just had Labor Day, so hopefully you were able to get a little bit of rest. Let me go ahead and get right into it though. So this week, what we need to be doing is, well, you can see there's lesson 0, part 2. This is the end, or this is the last bit of the review assignment, review assignments. Again, those I realize that those assignments are quite a bit longer than you might have been expecting. They are pretty long. I don't know, maybe I should have gone through and got rid of some material, but there's a lot of good stuff in there that I wanted to make sure that if there was anything that you hadn't seen before, or maybe you didn't have a very good grasp on it, so you would have a chance to notice that you hadn't seen it and kind of go through before we start really covering the new material. So today we're right here, September 7th. And the second part of the review is due tomorrow. So make sure you get that finished up. That is, let's see if I go back here, that's in the lesson 0, review of introduction, review of introductory algebra part 2. So if you just click in there, then you can keep working, you can work through this. It's 121 points there. I know, like I said, it's a lot of material, but hopefully from here on out, it won't be quite so much for you to look through. So after that, we're going to go ahead and start in on section 1.1. I have, you can see the time devoted to section 1.1, both Thursday and Friday. And section 1.1 will be due on Monday of next week. So you can see that in here. So hopefully, I'm kind of going through this so just so you can get an idea of how the calendars, both on Moodle, the one in here, and the calendar in My Open Math, how they kind of correlate. So you can look at either of them and hopefully you should be able to predict what the other one is telling you to do. So section 1.1, I'll just talk about that briefly. In section 1.1, really we're talking about functions. And this is, there's various, there's all sorts of videos. Well, this one right here is really the section 1.1 video. This is recorded by Lauren Fern. I'm not sure when she recorded it. I think it was this summer. So you can go ahead and watch through that. And then of course, there's also the textbook here talking about functions. Just pull it up really quick. And right off the bat, we get into what's called a one-to-one function. So I guess not right off the bat. There's a little bit of information, but there's not really many examples before that. We get to what's called a one-to-one function. Basically, the reason we tend to be interested in what are these one-to-one functions. In general, a function tells us how to get from one value, say an x variable, to a y variable. How it tells us how to get from one to the other. If it's one-to-one, then we can actually go back the other way also. So if I tell you going from x to y, you could use that function to get back to the x afterward. Now we use a couple of different tests for this. We use the vertical line test to see if something is a function in the first place. And if it corresponds, or if it meets the vertical line test, and it also meets what's called the horizontal line test, which, when you read through it, it's as you would expect. If it meets both of those, then that means it is a one-to-one function. So it's basically, the reason we're interested in that is it can be inverted. We can flip that function around and go back from the output, getting back to the input. So other than that, I'm not going to spend too much time talking about this because you're going to be watching some other lectures. I just wanted to give you a little bit of an overview of what we're seeing this week. So again, as usual, if you have questions, let me know. Either post a message in My Open Math, or send me an email, or however you want to get a hold of me. If I haven't responded to a message from you yet, it means that I haven't seen it, because I've responded to every message that I've seen. So you might double check any email address that you're sending things to me with or anything like that. So in any case, I hope you guys have a good week, and let me know if you need help.